What is the difference between the journal and the ledger? Well, before computers, the journal actually was a journal or a book. So you can think of it like a book. When you have a transaction, you find the first blank spot in the book and you write it down. And you might fill up the book based on how many transactions you have. So you might have page 1, page 2, page 3, page 50, and so forth. So that's the journal, that all of the transactions show up in the book or the journal. As the name implies, the journal tells you the history or the story of a business. I often compare accounting to a foreign language. And with training, you can learn to read this foreign language. Now, what is the ledger? Well, the ledger tells the same story of the business, it's just in a different format. And I like to envision the ledgers as different sheets of paper. So each account has its own sheet of paper. In the journal, the story is all written down in the format and that it happened. So you might earn some revenue, so you would debit cash and credit service revenue. But what if I wanted to find all of the cash transactions or all of the service revenue transactions? I would have to go through the journal page by page and figure out where are all of my service revenue transactions. And that might take me a long time. Is there a better way to find them? And that's what the ledgers are for. After I record a transaction in the journal, I will find the 2 or more ledgers, or the 2 or more sheets, that pertain to that journal entry. So for example, if I got cash for performing a service, I would find my 2 sheets for my ledger. I'd find my cash sheet and my revenue sheet. Now I would record what happens with my cash and then what happens with my service revenue. And this is a different format. It's the same story, just in a different format. That this service revenue sheet will have every transaction that deals with service revenue. Now it will only have the service revenue part of the transaction. If I want to find the whole story or all of the details, I have to go back to the journal. Often the ledgers will have a column that says post reference, and that will tell me where the transaction came from or where are all the details, where is the entire story. And so it will, I will write the page number that it is in the journal. So if you see a little post reference column, it tells me what page of the journal should I go to find the whole story. So again, the journal and the ledgers have the same story, it's just in a different format. I write it first down in the journal. I write the whole story, all of the details of the transaction. And then I find all of the different ledger sheets that the transaction pertains to, and I write down each of those. So therefore, I can read the story of the business in two different formats. I can go to the journal and just say, okay, I got service revenue and then I paid an advertising expense, or I got money from a customer. I can read that whole story. But if I just want to find out what happened in one account, I go to the ledgers and I can find the one ledger account that I want to know about. For example, advertising expense, and I can see all of my advertising expense all in one place rather than going through the entire journal and trying to pick out the different places where I put advertising expense.